Welcome to episode 70 of the Special Moves podcast. My name's Mike Williams. These guys are Jake Lukowski and Liam McKelvey.
Hello.
Hey, gamers.
We've got a few things to talk about this week. We've been playing some games. I haven't been playing some games. I haven't done anything except watch Love Island and rewatch Parks and Recreation. I've been doing a lot of work.
That is literally like...
And then just coming home and then... You know, like in Star Wars when C-3PO just says, I'm just going to switch off for a while, and then his lights go out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That.
Parks and Rec and Love Island is like... That's it. You know, like when I remember reading a stat like a third of everything watched on Netflix is The Office, and I'm like, who the fuck is doing that?
Yeah.
I'm getting a better understanding.
Yeah.
Now.
It smacks of someone who just wants to eat their tea. They just want to eat their fucking,
In 20 years, we'll be contemplating going to bed at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I've had a terrible week, basically, in terms of... podcast-friendly stuff, but these guys have been busy. There's been some stuff in the news.
Basically,
yeah, exactly. Keeping it going, keeping us alive. There's been a little bit of stuff in the news. It seems to be quite a busy week for releases coming up in this
I think
week
this
as
is
well.
it now. I think we're
kicking off now.
We're here.
Yeah.
We've been like incubating for
That's fair.
2 months,
Yeah.
and now we're here. So I'm looking forward.
Man, I hope we can actually deliver now. I'm just having a little look at the releases again, just to make sure that we are in fact here.
No.
Yeah, okay, all right.
This is the first time in like 2 weeks where I've messaged you guys ahead of time, like, I've got an idea for a video. Do you know what I mean? I'm ready to work.
That's it. So we got some lovely emails coming up as well from our Dear Special Moves inbox. Remember, if you want to send us an email, it's dearspecialmoves at gmail.co.uk.com. What is it?
.com.
It's
.com. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I told you it was a bad week, didn't I?
Sorry, we're here for you. Shout out to everybody listening as well.
Yeah. We've done a bonus podcast for patrons as well just this last week. So if you are a patron...
Yeah.
Remember to check that out because it's full of good stuff. Like,
it's basically this again.
Should we have the BBC or not?
Yeah, this one was particularly local. But I think we've got another thing coming up for patrons because I'm away next week, so there won't be a podcast next week for everybody listening. So I wanted to get that out of the way now so you can really savour this. Maybe listen to it at half speed. Maybe switch off half and listen to the second half later on.
I listen to stuff twice. I'm not just saying that.
I do that as well. I 100% do that. Yeah.
And I'm not... this is like the fucking QVC shit. Do you know what, Jacob? I like to listen to things twice, maybe three times.
I'm right here with you. I've been watching Mad Men recently and I feel like I've
sinking into it, are you?
Yes, yeah. I find myself far too comfortable. But more on that maybe on a bonus podcast.
Yeah. So. Let's talk about some games though. Eh? Yeah. Liam, you've been playing something pretty interesting this week.
Yes, I have. So I've been playing this little game called World of Horror that came out this Friday just gone.
Yep.
Shit name.
Not a great name, but as soon as you see screenshots of it, it might catch your attention.
Absolutely.
Because it's got a very eye-catching art style.
Yeah.
It's one of those self-proclaimed one-bit games, like Obra Dinn.
Yeah.
Where everything's like sort of monochrome, black and white.
Liam just looked at me and like, you've heard of that, Mike?
I didn't mean to. It was subconscious, but
Obra Dinn. You like that one, Mike? It's right. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a horror RPG with roguelite elements, and RPGs in the very old school RPG, clicking on menus, like wizardry type RPG, and Ultima and all that.
Which goes well with the art style, doesn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, for sure. And it's inspired by the art of Junji Ito, who's a very renowned horror manga writer, author,
all of this
artist.
is music to my ears, Half of this description would have been fine, but
this is the game for hipsters, really.
Yeah, exactly that.
Partly why it caught my attention.
Yeah, and then he said, Jake, I've got a recommendation. And when Liam comes in with that, you think, yeah, exactly. He's not saying maybe check it out if you like something.
He's not saying I've been playing.
Nope.
He's saying you
should play this. Not need, should. Like, he's not that. It's not that far.
Okay,
gone.
sorry, I went to the platinum tier today. Too far.
So I've been playing it as well, but Liam, you've stormed ahead on this, I think.
I ended up playing it a lot longer than I thought I would. I think I played it for like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
And so the whole point of this game is you play as a character who you can customize a little bit. Like you can change their backstory, which affects your stats and stuff like that. And you're trying to solve this ancient mystery plaguing like a seaside town in Japan where... the old gods they're coming for you basically. They're gonna take over your drive everyone insane. Classic, sort of horror stuff.
Lovecraft is the word here.
There's a lot of mentions of Eldritch and stuff like that. And yeah, so you are put in this town, you get given a playthrough will give you 5 mysteries that you have to solve, and each mystery that you solve, you get a key for a lighthouse, and then once you need to get to this lighthouse in order to stop the incoming apocalypse of the Eldritch Gods.
So there's 5 doors in one lighthouse, or is there 5 lighthouses?
There's 5 padlocks.
There's 1 door, 5 padlocks.
Classic escape room type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But
okay.
it's at the top of this lighthouse could be the key to stopping this incoming invasion of ancient beings.
Yeah. Okay. I had a look at this. I read an article about it about a week or 2 ago, and I did think it looked good. What platforms is it on? Because I'm not.
At the minute, it's only on PC. It's in early access on PC. Okay. And you can either get it on Steam Early Access, or it's on Xbox Game Pass as a game preview game,
cool.
which is just their Early Access.
For me, it does feel a bit like I would play a lot of this on the Switch. It feels like I would upset myself at night by playing it.
It is coming to consoles eventually, they said, like later this year. It's not going to be in Early Access for long. I think they said like 6 months or something.
Yeah, okay.
And so... And rather, like, you can play the game start to finish as it is now. They're just adding more like scenarios and encounters and different events into it.
Yeah,
you can see like that the game has got like a very, let's say, A to B. All the mysteries kind of end like they're pretty much the same way. But whilst you're doing them, there's like that's where the random elements, the roguelike elements come in. There's like different encounters and stuff like that. So I've done the same mission like 3 times and. It's been different each time, but I can imagine they're fleshing out that sort of stuff.
So there's combat encounters and stuff in it where you get given a bar and you have to pick what moves you want to do to fill up that bar, and then you click like launch sequence whatever, and it'll that'll be like your spells, your attacks, your buffs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like it's turn-based combat, and then with some like very horrific artwork of a monster staring at you.
It does this 1-bit art style thing does make you stop. I think when you're like scrolling through Twitter or whatever, it does make you like, what's that?
Yeah.
So it works really well as a way of grabbing attention, I think, and that's really important for an indie game. But this game's got a strong sell anyway, like you said. Jake, it sort of appealed to you on paper like really strongly, but
and I think that like
makes sense this time, though, doesn't it? The 1-bit art style thing.
Yeah, for sure. And like, because even like the gameplay systems are like inspired by like 80s games.
Yeah,
like Liam was saying, everything's like turn-based, menu-based, and things like that. Like read like
classic
MS-DOS.
text adventure.
So, exactly. So it's not like. Obra Dinn was like a first-person game that was running in real time with that style, which is probably a harder sell than this.
This is all like graphical interface type stuff.
You could be playing it on like a calculator. Do you know what I mean? It's like that style. You can set it to 2-bit if you want to like really spice things up.
Yeah, you can customize the color palette if you want to.
You could play it like purple and blue. If you
think there's even the Game Boy Green is in there. I think.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
So you can double the bits, man.
Yeah.
How's that for a feature?
But I do like the look of a game that you could probably play on a fucking Amazon Kindle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'm talking about the reader Kindle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you want to know something? That's actually how I read Junji Ito for the first time. Was on Amazon Kindle, and I didn't even know that it was in black and white. So then when I got Uzumaki, I was like, oh. It actually is in black and white because it's all just shit.
Life is a circle, isn't it? I mean,
so it's funny that you should say that, isn't it? Because funnily enough, that's how I first. So believe it or not, like this art style fitting that kind of feels more comfortable to me than even Junji on like paperback or something.
Yeah.
Like cool. I'd recommend this game, to be honest. I've had a good time with it. I will say it is very tough though.
Oh yeah.
If you even just playing it on the normal difficulty. Like, it gets to a point where nearly every decision you make will be bad in some way. Yeah. Like, you'll be given a prompt. You'll get 2 decisions, like stare at it or run away from it. If you stare at it, it might take away like your sanity meter.
Yeah.
Or if you like try and run at it, you'll fall over and it'll just take your stamina instead.
Yeah.
So it becomes this really careful balancing act of trying to like say, well, I can afford to go a bit more insane here rather than losing health.
You're totally right. It ends up a bit like Reigns, where it's like meter balancing, but it's like that brutal like NES style thing of like I think you can just have bad luck in your runs. Like
you definitely can.
Like the most talented player in the world wouldn't be able to do it on hard mode every time because it's just sometimes you're just a victim of circumstance. Like,
it does. Like you can get through it after you've like because if you play it for a bit, eventually you will start encountering the same events, and you know what will happen then, so you can sort of make a more informed decision. A bit of trial and error involved, but it's still good and worth playing through. Like, if you want to play it though, I'll give everyone a tip right here: recruit as many allies as you can, because they give you +1 to your stats, and you'll pretty much smash every skill check you come across.
I didn't even get that.
There's a tip for you: recruit as many allies as you can.
Jake.
Yeah, in Liam's inner circle was not.
There's Liam's pro tip for World of Horror: recruit as many allies as you can.
That's a good one. It does sound really interesting. I'm definitely going to play it.
Yeah, I mean, if the art style doesn't catch your eye, I don't know what will really.
Yeah, and it's on Game Pass.
And it's on Game Pass
for like an early access game to be on there, because normally that's a seal of quality. I think Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like, my only complaint about it is it's a bit buggy at the minute. Like, I had quite a few crashes. Where I got the first run, right, almost finished it. I got like literally 2 turns from finishing it, and it crashed, and you have to stop because it's roguelike back to the beginning, isn't it?
Back you go.
So that was a bit heartbreaking, but my next run I did manage to finish it barely. Literally another turn I would have lost. I managed to do it, and I haven't been back to it since my winning victory. But,
well, you're talking very fondly about it, even when you're talking about how it's been frustrating. So you sort of
it's definitely because it's got the roguelike element to it. It did have the sort of like, just one more run feeling. Even when it did crash, I was like, because a run only lasts like 30-40 minutes. So it's not like a massive time sink to try and get through it again.
Exactly.
And each of the mysteries have different endings as well. So you might get a completely different ending to what you got last time. So I'd recommend it. It's very fun.
Cool. Well, in a complete, contrast, Jake's been playing Dreams.
Dreams, yeah, that's right. I've been playing Dreams. I'm playing both of them, and it is a contrast, I'll tell you. I've been playing Dreams, the game by Media Molecule that came out like a week ago or something like that.
Maybe? So it's a game about making games.
Yeah, so
and not in a game dev story kind of way.
No, it's kind of like, not like a tycoon.
It's not
game.
A management sim. Yeah.
Nah, this is like, first of all, if you've played like Little Big Planet, you kind of know. It's the same people and everything, but it's one of them. There's games within games, and you can like go dream surfing, playing games, or you can go dream shaping and make games. That's their terminology, not mine, don't worry. And yeah, man,
I've Fall Out Boy lyrics.
Yeah. Dream Shaper, that's my new EP. I've got to tell you that, it's certainly a game full of games. It's kind
Could you recreate that World of Horror in Dreams?
100%. Yeah. But do you know what the most fun I've had playing Dreams is? I play PT again.
Yeah.
I played PT the whole game.
PT's the one. Is anything with a fucking level editor? It's like,
someone's new PT.
It's an L-shaped corridor, some shitty lights, and a woman in a maternity dress. But I'll tell you, Dreams. Like I wanna. I don't know if I can recommend the game. It's kind of the equivalent of. I'll just get straight into it. Like, going into the VR store on Steam and trying all the demos out. Fantastic concepts. That's it. A lot of it. So I've been playing first of all, I want to say I was an early backer of this. I got it like over a year ago when it came into its beta stage. And at that point, the kind of tutorial onboarding of it all was like a bit whack, bit like, basic controls, and it was more about creating because they were kind of funneling people down this route of creating. So when they opened the floodgates on launch day, there'd be tons of original content for people to check out. So me, as somebody who wanted to go dream surfing, I wanted to just go and experience in it and have a little go, but I was kind of ended up stuck in a level editor for a bit, and I didn't, and I uninstalled it. I didn't think much of it, and I kind of thought that's how it would be. But this time round, it kind of does have a lot more, sway towards actually playing stuff. So there's not like a coherent story, like on the main menu where you can click story mode or level editor. Everything's done from inside, like menus in a hub world, and it's not even as like Little Big Planet. I feels like. I don't know, like it's got you can play the story and that's it. You could not bother with the level editor stuff at all.
Yeah.
And you can just collect your little prize bubbles and get on with your little platformer and listen to Stephen Fry say witty stuff, whatever. And then that's it, and good for the kids. Don't need to think about it. But this, it's like you can't help but think that this is like a fragment of a larger, incoherent picture, like a dream, I guess. I don't know if I haven't read any reviews on Dreams.
Right.
But if not every single like wannabe wordsmith is saying bullshit like that their time in Dreams is like a dream, in the sense that you have these moments of clarity and greatness clouded with this like incoherent babbling, like a dream, then they've all missed the fucking trick. Because that's basically what this game is. To find a good dream that someone's made, you have to wade through tons of work in progresses, demos. It's like going on SoundCloud, man. It's like I played Yoshi's Island, WIP, work in progress. Yeah? Jump in. I'm playing as an avatar that looks like Yoshi in a 3D environment with just 4 floating platforms.
Are they getting through the fucking copyright shit with all this?
Don't know. I've got no idea. Probably not. There's probably a problem for Media Molecule that they're going to have to stamp out. I played a level that was Mario, and it was a perfectly recreated Mario with the running animations and the yippee thing and everything. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Apart from I kept clipping through the fucking floor because, it is just a game made by some fucking guy in Argentina.
But you said good for kids. A few times,
it's good for kids. It's kind of like going through the App Store and looking at the free games. The kids can just play one, they get bored, go off, go back onto another one.
Yeah.
A game only needs to be good for like 10 seconds. Like the game's good. The game is good because the game.
As in the campaign, do you mean, or
no? The game, like Dreams, as a platform, is good.
Yeah.
It gives people the ability to create things.
Well,
the problem is the people making the games.
They lack the talent of games developers.
No, they are very, very good, but the progress of one person in wherever the fuck they are, making a game in their bedroom and getting on with their schoolwork or their job or whatever is slow. So it's so many half-baked ideas.
Right.
The only things
so it's like a mod. It's
like fucking
website.
Elder Scrolls Nexus, yeah?
Yeah, Nexus, yeah, that's the one.
Imagine that, and you can shuffle to the top, but the things that are at the top, I worry about everyone else, you see.
Yeah.
Everyone else's taste is shit.
Yeah.
The top thing at the moment is the Fallout 4 work in progress, right? You play Fallout 4, it's a little map that looks like it, but there's nothing you can do. It's not a remake. It's a tech demo. It looks a bit like it, but it controls horribly.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cool idea, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But it took Bethesda hundreds of employees,
exactly,
millions of dollars,
and people still whinge about Fallout 4.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So I can't in good faith complain about the game. Because
very interesting.
Because what it does is great, but what I can complain about is my experience. It's like going on a Nintendo eShop, but everything is free.
Yeah.
And so all you're going on is a thumbnail or a name, and then you download it, and it's wasting my time.
So it's do you know what? It sounds most to me like Steam, where just the curator a few years ago, where people were saying the curator tools aren't good enough. It's full of shit. It's full of like all these new releases, and you can't even.
That's exactly what it is. But does that mean that Steam is shit? Or the good things on there aren't good?
Yeah.
So that is what it is. But what it does do is waste a lot of your time, and you'll spend, for every great dream you play, you'll play 20 shit ones.
Yeah.
So if you're like me,
there's a box quote,
and you want to sit down and you want to like just enjoy it, put on a game, and you've got this quality.
Yeah.
I don't know, Even the one, this is what I mean. I can't trust these people. Like everybody that's saying like I go on the top picks, and it's still a half-baked
do you know what
concept.
it feels like it has to be for me? Even though it's cheap, I had a look. It's about 35 quid on the PSN store. It needs to be a PS Plus game. It needs to be in the hands of as many people as possible.
Yeah,
and they need to monetize it differently.
I don't know if they're going to give. I don't know if it's a good idea letting more people bloody in. But let me tell you something. All right, because this is.
Can you collaborate?
I think you can. I think you can.
So we between the three of us, we could start building.
Get like an amateur dev team going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can.
Let's recreate Destiny in it.
I think you can share. Like you can fork people's source codes.
Fork them.
No, yeah, you fork. Let me talk about the other aspect of it then. Okay.
All right.
That isn't creating, because I haven't been bothered with that. But I played it like a year ago, and it was pretty cool. Like, you can see what people create.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that there is. So it's like I don't want to talk about the map editor if every single thing I've played is the map editor, because you can quite clearly see. But like Little Big Planet, there is like a Media Molecule developed set of dreams.
Is that a campaign?
Kind of, yeah. This is it. They're all segments. There's this quite long one called Art Dreams. It's like 2.5 hours long.
Okay.
So if you want to call that the campaign, then yeah, there's a campaign. It's 2.5 hours long. But even that is fragments of a greater concept. But this is kind of the sizzle reel of Dreams. So it's trying to show you what Dreams can do with this thing. So you play Art Dreams. You play as a guy called Art. He's in a jazz band. He plays double bass, and like he's like really pumped up, and the rest of his band are telling him to tone it down. And like his like love interest is like doing it. So he's got all these inner demons which manifest in these like dreams that you play as. So like yeah, it's part Broken Sword where you play as Art trying to go through, navigate this world, point and click, and there's musical numbers in it that you just sit and watch. And then there's like a bit where you play as his childhood toys, this like fox and bear, and that's like a bit of like a platformer with these very, very basic combat mechanics. And like then there's like, you know, there's this bit, and then there's a part where he plays the robot, which is what we played at E3 a couple of years ago, where he plays, you know, and it looks great and that feels great, but it's just too many little. It's too many It's too bitty. It's too tapasy.
Okay.
And you're not getting anything substantial. Whenever something's good, it's gone.
How would you? Okay, I feel like, and I'm saying this as someone who hasn't played any of it. It does feel a bit to me like a natural evolution of Minecraft in terms of just being a platform that's going to be around for years if it plays its cards right.
Yeah.
And it's got the potential to be like a school learning tool to get people involved, to get kids into games development, to get, you know, to in the same way that Minecraft is a very creative thing and it completely depends on, you know, how you can build things, and there's a strong game loop in Minecraft, but
that's the thing about Minecraft that's so perfect. It's like it's a gameplay loop, which is like your curiosity is feeding you.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like you start off with a blank canvas and you're given the tools. And you're given tools that you don't understand as a kid.
But do you see what I mean with the openness of it, where you can,
100%.
You know, you can see it in 10 years' time being, someone's created this fucking
that's what
GTA
I said.
4
I can't remember if I said it like last podcast or maybe in the Patreon podcast, but it's like Music 2000 inspired a whole wave of like EDM artists, and Flash produced a ton of Flash game mini clip.
Yeah.
There's this whole big news story at the moment where
it's just died, isn't it?
It's died, but somebody managed to preserve 12,000 of the games, which you can actually go and download. I think in 10 years time there'll be like people who made it from the School of Dreams.
Yeah.
You know, if you know what I'm saying. So like, it is like that, and it is like going on mini clip. There's so much shit.
Yeah.
But what you know, the good stuff that you find is good, and so it's like saying Flash is bad because you've played a bad Flash game.
That's what. Yeah. So that's what I'm kind of interested in, is how it could. I think maybe the branding and the marketing's a bit wrong for it somehow. I think just have this whole dreams thing and it's a bit. It feels a little bit too like sort of cerebral and wishy-washy. Whereas like Minecraft is a bit more like physical. It's like it's a fucking block. Everything's a block. Yeah. You know. Whereas this is a little bit more. It makes sense to games developers, and it seems more exciting to games developers. But as a big mass thing that's going to appeal to kids and beyond,
so,
I don't know if it.
Yeah,
if
me
it's
and Ellie
right
were
thing.
playing it yesterday. Yeah, she's 8. It was interesting. Held her attention for a little bit, but then she'd like something, and then it would be over because we were playing a 45 seconds to a minute tech demo. Next.
But do you think it's got the? I can't see it being the same sort of like playground level of like, well, if you weren't a person who had a game, you didn't work in the games industry and had a gaming YouTube channel, would Ellie have gone? Everyone's talking about dreams in school. I want to get it.
No kids are talking about it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like it's too much of an editor still.
Yeah,
it's like a weird halfway house between Unity and Little Big Planet.
The way you describe it reminds me a bit of Gmod.
It is like that. It is like that.
Where it was like you could still tell it was obviously Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
But you had like this depository of mods you could download and do whatever in it.
So that's the thing. I think that it's like it's a great concept. It's a great tool, but I think it has a lack of highly curated dream segments that you can play right off the bat. If you play through the Media Molecule stuff, you've got about 5 hours worth of stuff to play at a stretch. And then you're just out on your own, kid. Good luck. Wade through these mountains of crap games to find the good ones. Go online, go on Reddit, go on Google, search for the names of good games. Maybe have a look. It'll be great if you do that. If you sit on Reddit and or Reset Era or some forum or some fucking shit like that, and you're looking for like good stuff, you're out there finding them. But it feels like a bit too random at the moment. I did play the PT demo all the way through. It was cool, and it worked and it was functional. But the Fallout 4 one, I played it, and it's like, it's just
there's cool stuff. There's like Metal Gear Solid 1 and all that sort of thing, but that's sort of like not the point somehow, is it? Of like that's how you pull people in, by making them think there's like, there's all this different types of shit going on.
You get them with the nostalgia.
Yeah, and exactly, and remakes of things that already exist, which is sort of mainly what you've been talking about, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There's some original there's this really good one, and it's like you play as like a Godzilla type creature.
Yeah.
But the graphics are cool, and you're going around absolutely smashing shit out of like a town like Rampage, but it's all 3D, and you play as like Godzilla, kaiju kind of thing. But
there's a PS2 game called like War of the Monsters or something.
Yeah, you can get that on PS4 at the minute. Yeah, like the emulated one.
Something like that, and there's like I think the highest rated game at the moment, not made by Media Molecule, is a game called, fucking can't remember, something Gem Cutter or something. And you play as a sloth, and it's Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker with a sloth.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's another
existing concept. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a good game. It's not for me though. You know what I mean? I'm not going through all it. I'm not playing. I feel like, don't know.
Do you guys see what I mean with like the marketing and stuff not being or not the marketing? I think Dreams is a bad name. I think Dreams it just doesn't smack of a game that's going to be massive. And I'd love for me to be completely wrong about that, but it just seems,
I don't know. Yeah, when you play it makes more sense, but maybe that's because like they've built their whole
concept around
around the words. Yeah, but because
that's what I was saying earlier. I'm not sure that was the right. It seems like a nice idea that makes sense to people who read Rock Paper Shotgun and people who write for Rock Paper Shotgun and games developers. But beyond that, is having that dreams, cerebral, you've said it yourself, fucking surfing dreams and all this, like.
Yeah, exactly. And I
mean,
again, like that's the thing, I think Like a Dream, here we go. It's one of them things that like you play it by yourself, you can't explain why it's good, and you forget about it about 20 minutes after it's happened. Yeah, and that's what my time on it's been like.
I was actually about to buy it yesterday or the day before.
Save yourself some money. Play it at mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's quite good. Especially, do you know what? Do you know what?
Don't change gears now.
No. I've got to say, if you're interested in making games, absolutely get it.
That's what I would like it to be.
If you are interested in making games, if you're not, don't. Like Minecraft, you don't have to be interested in making stuff. You can play survival in Minecraft. Yeah. So when I play Minecraft, I'm surviving. I'm not trying to craft a fucking Tywin Lannister out of like redstone or whatever, innit? That's the thing I last saw. A photorealistic Tywin Lannister portrait, Charles Dance, made out of bricks, and you can float around and look at it. What the fuck is that about? I don't care.
Well, I was going to say something else, but I think we should leave it on that very vivid image.
Charles Dance.
That's.
I'll show you how vivid it is after this. I'll show you the photorealistic Tywin Lannister, and you just go, oh.
That's Dreams, which is out now on PS4. It's about 35 quid. I saw it on PSN, so I'm assuming you can get it cheaper, physical. Let's do some emails, I reckon. If you want to send us an email, the address is dearspecialmoves@gmail.com, as I'm reliably informed. This one is from Mike from Bath.
Nice.
Who says, Dear Special Moves, I've been watching you on YouTube since the Pretty Good Gaming days, but I've never written in. I've never written into any show I watch, actually, so congrats on being my first.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Recently, I started a new job working in a casino.
In Bath?
It's pretty cool. Yeah. And as such, I haven't had as much time for watching YouTube, something I used to do every day. Because of this, I have amassed a ridiculous backlog of videos and podcasts that I'm slowly working my way through. Top of my list of what to watch first are the episodes of the Special Moves podcast that I've missed. Thanks. Currently, I'm on episode 66, where Jake, near the beginning, said he thought it was only audio listeners who wrote in, following up by saying, the type of people who are too good for YouTube. After all these years, that was a quote apparently. After all these years, this was what broke the silence for me, and I knew I had to write in. As someone who used to watch...
Get baited, Mike.
Yeah. As someone who used to watch YouTube all the time, but now finds little time for it as well as getting my gaming time in, I've started to compromise by playing games that I know I can have on alongside watching YouTube videos and podcasts. Yeah. Currently, I'm playing through Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, brackets, sorry Mike, as I've already played the games, so missing the story isn't such a big deal. Do you ever watch YouTube or listen to podcasts while playing games? And what types of games do you think are best suited to this? What should I play while the YouTube backlog looms? Love the show and all you guys do. Keep up the good work. Cheers, Mike from Bath.
Thanks, Mike.
Great email. Thanks, Mike.
When you're watching this 3 months later, just know that you're one of them, man. You're up there with the audio listeners now, mate. Congratulations. No, I do this a lot. Today I did this, actually.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. Today I had I could have played 2 Point Hospital, Bayonetta, or Binding of Isaac. I played Binding of Isaac because I could have watched YouTube at the same time. So, like, sometimes I actually will make the decision based on that. Like, if I've got something I want to listen to or watch or whatever, I'll do that. So I find that, like, straight off the bat, like roguelikes and games like that with like a gameplay loop but not really a narrative push, is good to put on.
What are you then?
Very recently, actually, it's World of Horror I was playing while having podcasts on, because it's mainly visual, and it's like the soundtrack to it is very like monotone-y anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had that like volume down, and then just my phone sat on my desk and playing podcasts I was catching up on. But usually it's for like multiplayer games or games like Destiny and The Division, where you can just sort of like turn your brain off and just like, as long as you've got the visual, that's all you need, really, isn't it?
I don't ever do it. I mean, I always listen to podcasts in the car when I'm driving. I don't listen to the radio.
You travel quite a bit to work, don't you?
Yeah, and so I've got a little bit of a drive. It's like 20 minutes or something. But and then driving, within work hours and stuff, and at home, like when I'm cleaning or getting ready for work in the morning or whatever. That's like podcasting.
Yeah.
YouTube time, I guess. Actually, no. YouTube time is more like, just sitting here before, straight away after work kind of thing, and I'm just putting something on a telly, and I don't want to. And I watch YouTube through my living room TV, so I don't watch it on my phone so much at all anymore. And that's because it's perfect for like, I just want to watch 10 minutes of something. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Rather than like
an hour-long podcast.
Yeah. Or well, it's a TV show or
on YouTube.
A TV show or a movie or something, or I just want 10 minutes of shite, so I turn to YouTube for that. Playing games, man, I've got to be in it. Even fucking Division, Destiny. I want the sound. I want the guns. I want the feet.
I was playing Bayonetta last night, actually, and I had my laptop off to the side playing YouTube videos that I missed, but because I've played through Bayonetta like 3 times before.
Replaying, I guess.
And that's a game that requires a lot of focus, really, but I just didn't give it any.
I can't.
I've got to catch up on my YouTube subscriptions.
It's not even the focus, it's just the immersion. I just want to be in it. Do you know what I mean?
Did Mike ask what we watch as well? Is that a question?
Yeah. What kind of?
Do you want me to say my perfect zen at the moment is this, right? So I work from home, okay? Lunchtime comes, I go downstairs, I make some coffee, get back upstairs, and now I've got 2 monitors. In my left monitor, the primary monitor, I put Legends of Runeterra on. I'm playing ranked, I'm climbing ranked. There have been a couple of people in the comments asking, like, did Jake fall off Runeterra? Is it a Tarkov-style situation? Nah, mate, I'm on it all the time. I'm fucking levering it. And the new patch update has kind of made things a lot better for me because it's nerfed all the people that I hate. Yeah, Yasuo stun decks and a lot. Anyway, whatever.
I was going to ask about, what about the
Yasuo stun decks? Yeah, I know. Fearsome has been nerfed as well, mate. Big fucking win for me. Right, so I've got that, and on the right-hand side, I've watched it like twice now, which is over 30 hours, but there's a new video coming up next week. I've been watching the fucking Christian Weston Chandler documentary that Geno Samuel 12's done. It's 29 parts long. Each one's about 45 minutes, and it's only up to 2010. So like, if you know who Christian Weston Chandler is and you follow his like life, because I've been watching Christian Weston Chandler videos since 2008, like when they were on his channel. Then shit, man, like it's going crazy, and we're only on 2010. So I'm like 30 odd hours into that, and then.
What are you playing though? What are you?
Legends of Runeterra.
Legends of Runeterra, always, and that's your.
Yeah, because like.
So, but I suppose it's an easy lunch game, isn't it? If you've got an hour.
Like it's maybe 3 or 4 games. It depends, doesn't it? That's another. It's another thing though, because it's like a game could be 5 minutes. It could be like 15. But,
okay.
And I don't need to hear the sounds, and it annoys me. Like I've heard the sounds loads, like when a character comes onto the field or whatever. It's like I don't need to listen to it. Yeah. And also like a lot of it's waiting. Because I'm using the same deck that I've been using for a while on ranked. I know my deck inside out, right? I know it's tricky. You gotta make sure you pronounce on that E. Yeah, I know the cards in my deck very well, so I know like kind of what I need to get and stuff. I was gonna say pull. What I need to pull. And what
you need to pull to grow your deck.
Exactly. But the other players often haven't come across somebody using the style of play that I'm using. Yeah. So like a lot of literally, if you're playing a 2-player card game, 50% of the game is them waiting for them to make a move, and you can't see the cards in their hands. So there's a lot of downtime in that game. So that mixed with the fact that I don't want to hear the sounds that I'm playing, and I'm pretty much I'm quite quick at thinking if I know I know sort of thing. Like I don't. If I've got the information in my brain, I don't have to go ages getting the archive out. Do you know what I mean? I'm there. So, like, it's good for me. I spend a lot of time waiting for other people on Runeterra, especially because I'm the master of my deck now, yeah? So, I have that on. I've got that. And I've got to give this little shout out to the people who actually, right? So, my eldest cousin has a YouTube channel, which is pretty popular. Got like 160,000 subscribers, and it's completely focused on horror. Yeah, Shrouded Hand completely focuses on horror. He talks about like new horror films, talks about ghost stories and what.
From Holywell.
Yeah, he lives in Newcastle now, but he's from Holywell. Yeah, and I was on his channel a couple of months ago, and there's a few comments from people that recognised special moves in his comments,
That's cool.
Saying what the fuck are the chances that 2 of my favourite channels know each other?
Very
because.
Cool.
Yeah, so but he puts out quite a lot because he's only audio only, and he talks about like weird news or like true crime stuff and that. So he has a lot of content, and a lot of it's long form. And I haven't caught up on like his latest stuff, so I watch a lot of his stuff, a lot of like YouTube documentary type shit, and then play Runeterra. So for everyone that wants to know, that's it.
There you go.
A perfect lunch hour.
Thanks for a great email, Mike from Bath. Got another one here from Ahmed Brockets Donkey Breath. Ahmed says, "Dear Special Moves, Ahmed here again from Michigan. Hope you guys are doing well. Many AAA games are released with a great deal of DLC before and after release. Of course, it takes much more money to develop, market, and release games now compared to games released a decade or 2 ago. Thing is, many gamers like myself prefer a complete product on the initial purchase, and maybe some DLC or expansion a year or 2 after release. Does that mean I should pay more than the standard $60 because the product is worth more? Or does it even matter since publishers are going to try and squeeze more out of their customers anyway? Regards, Ahmed." DLC, and I feel like my feelings change about DLC a lot over time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to begin with, like Xbox 360 days, I was a bit like,
yeah, because it's usually like, a map pack for Call of Duty?
It was expensive, and it was like, well, like last year, all this shit was in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they've sort of beaten me over the years to the point where I'm just like, the Division's going back to New York. You got to pay for the expansion. I don't know if you have to, but I don't care. I'm up for it. I'll pay for it. I'm fucking ready. Give me that New York, baby.
I think a big expansion, like the old days, PC days, is welcome in my mind. You know.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of that.
Iceborne did it well.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know if that'll ever be included. You know, like I'm a fan of that type of DLC. Really.
Yeah.
If it's you know the good stuff from Software. Any of their DLC is good. I reckon they've got a fantastic track record for DLC. But
personally speaking, I'm more annoyed by like microtransactions and stuff, and not because I've never like a loot box is just really boring. And I'm playing a Division, and it's like, oh, you got 12 fucking caches or something, and it keeps telling me that I got caches. I do not care.
Yeah.
Why do you keep telling me that I got
and you can
a
have
scarf
more
and a fucking
if you
giant
spend
chest?
some Ubisoft coins.
I find that more annoying.
Yeah, for sure, because that's not even like interesting content.
No,
that's unlocked. Whereas DLC normally, you know, there are bad examples of DLC.
Absolutely,
especially when it's like
Destiny.
A B team writing like the plot, especially if it's a story game. But like, you know, Blood and Wine and whatever. Like, there are some good value propositions, and the good thing about them is If they are like story things and they're quite separate, there's normally reviews for them.
Yeah.
So you can kind of have a look and you can get yourself like educated on it and then make the purchase like a game. So because of that, it feels like a lot less hassle than like microtransactions and just little bitty bits, like incremental changes or like one weapon different. You know what I mean? Like like this Monster Hunter Iceborne, it's a fucking 40 fucking quid.
Yeah.
Double the price of the fucking game DLC. Is it worth it? Well, good news for you. Everyone's reviewed it separately, put videos out on it. If it's big enough to get its own content, then it's a great thing for it.
Yeah.
And like the Witcher stuff is expensive, but it's really good. Destiny stuff is expensive. Half the time, I would say it's not very good at all.
It's all free now. It's a sad thing.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's what the story used to be. Yeah. So the worst place for me has been with Total War games, where it's just been, just
breaking it into little bits and pieces.
Do you know what? Yeah, do you want to know something? I was telling you I played World of Horror. I was telling you I played Dreams. Do you know what I played the most this week? Northgard.
Oh.
And
That's confusing.
wait. No, it's going somewhere. So I got Northgard and on PC. I've already had it. I backed it years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago, and I played it.
It's on Switch and everything now, isn't it?
Absolutely. And they've got a new game called Darksburg, which is out, I think, this week.
Right.
Anyway, but because of that, I've seen a lot of people playing Darksburg, and it's made me on Twitch, and it's made me go, God, I like Northgard's art style. So I've gone back to it, and since launch, there's that Total War Paradox stuff. Because can you remember that you've got Clan of the Goat, Clan of the Snake, or whatever? Yeah. Well, now there's like 6 different clans, maybe even more than that. They're all separate priced.
Yeah.
If you look at the Steam forums, loads of thumbs down.
Yeah.
This DLC one, whenever you come up against it in multiplayer, is dead overpowered. So it's that. So that's actually what I've been playing this week the most, and I've run into that exact problem where, like, if you come across this DLC clan, it's shifty, overpowered, and stuff like that. And also, it's got to the point now where somebody who bought it in early access, I was waiting for it to mature. Now I look, and like 50% of the clans that they've created, 50% are hidden behind each individual separate hurdle paywall.
Yeah.
So
that breaking it up, that scattergun kind of DLC thing is really annoying. But in Total War, I feel like, I don't want to turn into a gaming news channel here, but it was a slightly sort of weaponized, I thought, especially with the first Warhammer, because it was, you pre-order it now, you get 4 races in Warhammer, and I think they were fucking amazing. Like, it was really good. I love that game, right? One of my favorite games ever, right? But then the 5th one is Chaos, okay?
Yeah.
And if you want that, you got to pre-order. If you don't pre-order, you got to pay whatever it is after, like 8-9 quid or something after that. You got to pay more after that.
And it's there on the menu.
From
the first day.
That shit is in the game, so you you
can come across
you
Chaos.
can fight them.
Yeah.
So you get a nice advertisement for the fucking units that you haven't bought yet in the game.
Yeah.
So it just seemed a little bit like, I've always paid you 35 quid or whatever for the game. Now I've got to pay you
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
I remember this. The buzzword was I don't think we've even mentioned it until this point yet, but this is exactly what we mean in it. Like day one DLC.
Yeah.
That's especially spiteful because you know that it's there, and in this case, like it is there.
There's ways of doing it wrong and ways of doing it right.
Yeah, but properly thought out after the fact. Additional I am really hoping that they announce Sekiro DLC this year. Like really.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like really looking forward to the idea of them doing it, and the fact that they probably are because they've done it for every other game that they've made. It's super exciting. I'm as excited for that DLC as I would be another game. So that's like when it's done right. Like it can be really exciting and a great addition. But if that DLC was in day one Sekiro, I'd be like, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. But there you go. That's a good question. Thanks for the email, Ahmed. Remember, if you want to send us an email, it's dspecialmoves@gmail.com. Let's talk about Animal Crossing quickly before we do the new releases. Some information for the audio listeners there. Jake just sighed and shook his head. Jake, do you want to tell us a bit more about your feelings? I've just said Animal Crossing. You don't have to tell us about it.
I'm conflicted.
Jake's conflicted. Liam, how do you feel at the moment at the words Animal Crossing?
Not asked.
Not asked, right.
Because I am not a big Animal Crossing fan, as a lot of other people are. I have played it. I did enjoy my time with it.
Okay.
But I can take it or leave it.
Okay, I'm not a massive fan either. I mean, I can't even remember which. I've played something, but I can't remember what it was.
Was it
GameCube? I'm pretty sure.
World?
Was it New
Wild
Leaf?
Wild World sounds good. Was that Wii or what was it on?
Wild World was Animal Crossing was GameCube, but I think Wild World was
the first Animal Crossing was just called Animal Crossing. That was on GameCube.
Yeah.
And then the one most people play, or the one I know most people I know that played is New Leaf on the 3DS. That's where it really took off.
Yeah.
Over here,
Wild
I think.
World was on Game Boy Advance, maybe.
Was it the regular Nintendo DS?
Yes, it was. That's what it was. Yeah, it was.
I played. I think that was the first one I played.
Yeah, it was that. It was that. The DS handheld is kind of where it's been.
Yeah,
I didn't play it handheld. I played it on. So it must have been GameCube.
It must have been GameCube.
Yeah. GameCube.
That's where it was like.
That was like the original.
That's what.
Unless you went hardcore and imported the N64 only version from Japan.
Yeah,
I did not.
This is the first time a lot of people played this type of game.
So Nintendo did a special Nintendo Direct about Animal Crossing. So they do like to do these, 20-minute, 30-minute presentations about the games they got coming up. But this was focused on Animal Crossing, which they did recently for Pokemon.
They do for Smash all the time.
Smash
gets
Smash for
good,
75 fucking years.
I think Fire Emblem got its own one, did it?
It got a massive one at E3. Like, it got the focus at E3.
Yeah, big chunk.
18, yeah.
So it's like a video thing. It just goes live on you can.
They have the indie one as well, don't they?
Good.
Yeah,
good bit of gaming marketing stuff. I like it.
It's really the future. Yeah, basically.
So they did one for Animal Crossing this week. A few headlines coming out of it and all that, and
25 minutes long. No specials at the end. No Pikmin 4. Which is what the real G's are fucking hoping for. Surely. Not Metroid.
Real G's one Pikmin 4.
Oh yeah,
absolutely on the right path.
Premonition 2, man. That's where it was at.
Yeah, Deadly Premonition.
That was the best.
So Animal Crossing is, what's it about, boys? It's a game about. There's kind of a lot of games in this genre now, isn't there? Which is
sort of social weird. Sim.
And upkeep and
management.
Harvest Moon is the original. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think so.
On the SNES, and that has pretty much identical features to this game from now, 2020. So, Animal Crossing is simply a game where you are a little person, you make your own... the whole thing is kind of based around your creations. So, you create your character, you move into an island or a place or a town or whatever with a bunch of creatures.
Yep.
Tom Nook, who I think is a Tanuki... gives you a house, which is really nice of him, but it costs 1 million bells, which is the currency, and then you're just a resident in this town, and you kind of work towards paying off your gifted 1 million bells that Tom Nook has totally just given you for free. And
it's a game about mortgages, really.
It's
a game about playing off. Yeah, so it's a game about borrowing out
perpetually in debt.
Yeah, to the tune of 1 million bells to an angry Tanuki. But you've got to understand, and I know this sounds really old and that, as a kid, this was super immersive. You'd log in every day. It's now, innit, with the Division and that. But this is in 2002. You'd log in every fucking day. One of your little mates in your town would give you a little present. They were maybe they were a goat, or maybe they were an eagle. They'd give you a little present. They'd say, hey, there's a fishing competition going on this week.
Yeah.
In real life days, if it's your birthday, they'd give you presents. There's events, there's seasons.
Yeah.
It's like Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley had the genius of the farming as the...
Yeah.
I say genius, it wasn't genius because Harvest Moon did it and they stole it from Harvest Moon, so they deserve no credit for that. But Stardew Valley did this the best that has been done in a long, long time. You can remember that Stardew Valley... Everyone knows what Stardew Valley is. Everybody knows what Stardew Valley is. My mum and dad know what Stardew Valley is. And that's what Animal Crossing's got to compete with in this space.
Yeah.
So, the pros of that are it's cute, nice, pastel colours, 3D, looks gorgeous, looks like a bunch of amiibo toys in action. Animals, they're animals, guys. They're fluffy, cute animals. Not horrible horrible creature animals. They're nice animals. And it's Nintendo. Everybody likes Nintendo. But then the cons are you haven't got your own entrepreneurial farm business, which is like what swayed a lot of people in, even people that
capitalists.
What might not
the finest cattle farm on Harvest
exactly.
Moon.
Listen, I'm not interested in making friends with Abigail or not. Yeah, I'm here for parsnips, and then
optimal. Parsnips.
Come for the parsnips, stay for Abigail.
That's
kind
star
of
milk in Harvest Moon.
And then just like anyone from sort of Dickensian novel, their heart thaws when they realise that they liked Pelican Town, and then they stand up against the big corporations that they once might have, attuned themselves with. So that's kind of the Stardew Valley effect. What's Animal Crossing got to offer? Well, I don't know. If you're a bit of like a like Mike, like Animal Crossing, what's this going to sound like to you? You go in the game, you're going to have pretend animal friends. That's it. Do you know? There's nothing else for you to do there.
Yeah.
Is that less appealing or more appealing than Stardew Valley, say? Infinitely less, surely. Don't, and I know you don't want me to try and second guess.
No. Genuinely, I didn't ever. I tried Stardew Valley several times and I never got into it. So maybe not having to fucking worry about my business would be quite nice.
That's true. Like this seems to have a lot more customization than even Stardew Valley. You can really do terrain management, which I think is like a really clever idea. It's such a stupid feature, but you can make cliffs and rivers, and you can really customize your land around your house.
I'm more into that creative. I would have more fun just making a river than
absolutely.
Getting optimum.
Everybody's going to try and make a moat, surely. Yeah, come on, man. And then you've got this, but you've got these events on, but there's a real cuteness, and it's very, I don't know. I think it appeals to that sort of thing in your brain. You want to play it before bed. You're a citizen of this nice, lovely fictional town. Everyone's nice to you, and you can do all the cute things. You can go ice fishing, and you can do bug catching and all the kind of cute stuff. So kids would love it. I loved it when I was just as a preteen, and I loved it because it just felt like there was stuff to do. I felt like there was always something to do. Same thing that now as an adult, Destiny offered me in Destiny 2. I'll do this today. I'll do this. I got this nice little checklist, but it's hitting those things. I think that Stardew Valley has raised the bar in a way that people don't realize, and then they're actually going to get Animal Crossing, and they're going to be like, oh.
I don't think Nintendo are above just robbing ideas either, though. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a they're not going to think, well, we'll just ignore that game. I think they would have a look at it, and they would see how they would bring influences in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
for sure. I think that the big terrain changes is really cool, and I think that
they're trying to do stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, and Stardew Valley, my favourite part of it was the fishing for some reason, but you can fish in this, so immediately I'm like, oh, but it's and it looks fucking ace. I love how it looks. I think it looks iconic, how you can easily tell it's Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tom Nook is a legend in my eyes. How he looks is really cool. And they've even got the Nintendo Switch. I think the last time they did a Nintendo Switch like this was what? Was it Odyssey, or was it Breath of the Wild?
I can't remember actually. I know what you mean.
They've done a custom Switch for it, nice colours and stuff.
Right.
But it's expensive, isn't it?
Pokemon, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They did. Of course. Only the Switch Lite, I think, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They did the grey, and it had either blue and red,
depending on Sword and Shield.
For Sword and Shield.
I think this is quite expensive. Yeah. I think there's other games like Graveyard Keeper and Stardew Valley, and because these games have got retro art styles. It wouldn't be too much of a stretch for somebody to just get Harvest Moon on an emulator.
Yeah.
So then to be charging £60 for this, and it won't drop down in price, because I was going to get Breath. I traded in my Breath of the Wild because it didn't click, and now I'm regretting it, and I wanted to buy it again. It's the cheapest I can see. It's £37.
You can borrow mine.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's what, £2 off the retail price it came out.
Exactly. So know that this game is not going to drop down in price for ages, because it's they've pushed it. They've given it its own direct, and I think it's quite a lot to ask, basically.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. That is a big problem with this Switch, is the game pricing, or just in general, really. I mean, there's a sale on at the moment, and it's brought Fire Emblem and Mario Odyssey and a couple of other things down, but it's still £34.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally, which is games
from
that same year you could get, you know, like Spider-Man PS4 and God of War together would be like 30. Well, not even 25.
You can get like the complete edition of Horizon Zero Dawn for like £8 now.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
like 50, 60 hours worth of game.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
I was really put off by Fire Emblem until like really close to the game. I got it. I think Fire Emblem was like the best game I've played on the Switch, and like Animal Crossing, I was excited for it for years. But now that we're getting close and I'm seeing more of it, I'm like, but I think it's just because I'm more excited about other games at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think out of the three of us, I'm the most likely to get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if I get it, I'll probably like it. But just at the moment, I think what's making me, and I don't know about you guys, but like, there's a lot of hype. A lot of hype for this game, right? And it's like, you kind of, I'm like kind of going, all right, but why this much?
Yeah.
You know, out of everything. That's not like Metroid Prime or something, you know? I don't know.
Pikmin.
No, but a new Pikmin would be sick on the Switch. I'm telling you right now, man, that's my ultimate.
Get Golden Sun back.
Yeah.
Shall we do new games then before we say goodbye? There's quite a lot of things coming out.
We're moving now, man.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
People are finally bringing stuff out.
So instead of trawling through all of it, I'll just pick out the few that we're probably likely to say something about. So February the 25th, which is the Tuesday, you got 2 Point Hospital coming to Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Played a bit of that, Jake.
Yeah, so I've been working on the launch of this one. So I've had codes really early. I've been playing it for like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And, you know, you guys know, like I say it all the time, just because I'm working on a game, if a lot of the games I work on, I don't give a fuck about them, to be honest. This is the second, out of all the games that I've worked on a release of, Disco Elysium being like the top, this is the second one where I've been enjoying it the most. Like, it's fucking good on console. Yeah. I've been waiting, like I think was it the very first or maybe the second Special News podcast? I spoke about it on PC then. Well, and that was when it had just come out. Well, now it's on console, and like they've added the DLC stuff for it. More, I think the rest of the DLC is coming as a free update in March, so it's not all there, but it's, you know. Yeah. But there's been enough time for them to iron the bugs out between when I first played it and now. And you know, you guys know, like I'm a big like PS4 gamer, and what it is with this game is that like it's quite simplistic. It's not like City Skylines and stuff like that. But for me personally, I grew up playing RTS games that were simplified and dumbed down on the PS1. Like my most time playing in not, I guess it's not real time strategy, but like a, you know, management-y kind of sim was Theme Park World on the PS1.
Yeah.
And like it was like this like cartoony version of
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah. And this is like that. It's very cartoony. It's not radial menus. Like, that's the big problem with anything mouse-based, isn't it? How are they going to sort out the incessant menuing? But with this, it's really simple. They've assigned a button to, like, hire in, a button for rooms, and you use your things as rotation. Like, I'm actually, like, in a completely non-biased way, properly enjoying it. And the review scores have, like, reflected that, because the review embargo dropped on, like, Friday just gone, and it's like 9s and 10s all across the board. It's nice. Fucking good.
Mario Flora has been smashing it on the Nintendo Switch, which is really annoying because it's my Switch. But she's been playing loads of it, and you know, really, really liking it. So hopefully I'll get a chance to play it soon. But I've had a few little looks at how it's handling and stuff. It sort of impresses me how good it looks on the Switch, actually, and it's sort of, you know, a little bit of like, you know, it's a bit, I don't know how to say it in a way that doesn't make me sound like a dickhead, but there's a little bit of like, you know, the edges and stuff don't look quite like edges. There's a bit of like shiny.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I mean, but you know, it's not perfect visually, but it is good, and the hospital is full. Like the hospital does feel. So I don't know if it's like, you know, that's one thing they would scale back on is like how many people are walking
on screen,
around and stuff.
For sure.
It feels full. It feels like a busy hospital, so that's cool, and it's quite a good achievement. I think The Witcher 3 got a load of praise for like, you know, how amazing it was on this, you know, how amazing that it had got on the Switch.
Yeah, that's one thing I always remember you saying. Like, I think maybe the first thing you said was like, there's like 5 NPCs where there'd be 12.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Whereas I think you need to look at something like 2 Point Hospital and think like, that's probably a fucking better gaming experience, and it holds up a lot better, you know, graphically and as a complete experience on the Switch.
Like, I don't like just because I've been working on a release for that, by the way, what I mean is I've been sending out review copies to YouTubers and stuff. I'm nothing to do with the marketing or anything like that. I don't know anything behind the scenes. But what it feels like to me is, like, and this is what I would do, and based on the conversations that we always have when anything's coming onto consoles, in my head, and I don't know about everyone else, I always think, oh, that means Switch then, hopefully. But I would prioritise that over everything else. And I feel like this one almost kind of like looks like it has. Like, you know, like what Dark Souls Remastered. Like, I would go straight for, like, make the Switch one the one.
Yeah.
You know, because it's the one that people are going to take around with them.
But it's also the one that we're going to talk about. It's the one that, like, YouTubers and that are going to be more... As long as it's not a big fucking staple shooter or something, where, you know, the Call of Duty, Battlefield, and your big like RP, you know, your big like God of Wars and shit. Obviously, that's a console experience, right? But when there's just multi-platform all around, it's on PC, Switch, and living room consoles, and you know, I'm with you. I think the Switch one is what you're going to have people saying it's really good that it's on the Switch.
I'll tell you what I've seen loads of pictures of today on Twitter of like YouTubers that I follow. They've been reviewing. I don't know if it's going to come up in a minute, so I'll just say it just in case it's not.
Go on.
Metro, the Redux collection on Switch.
So that's
looks fucking well good.
That's out on February the 28th, so that's the Friday.
These are only stills that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's on the Switch.
Well, Metro's a weird one because it's like it's one of them janky like PC Master Race type games, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it does look good sometimes. And you know, the last one, it was, you know, they try and do that immersive like stuff, like the helmet and shit like that, and you know, the guns,
frost around the edges of the screen and shit.
Yeah, detail. Like the detail in the world is always good. So, like if you get that detail in there, it's going to hold up. Like maybe the lighting isn't as good and the fucking fog isn't as good and all that sort of stuff, but.
And the frame rate is definitely not.
Yeah.
But from the stills I saw, I couldn't believe that was on the Switch. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one and see what the YouTube reviews are saying.
So that's another one, Metro Exodus, which is on the 28th. We'll go back to the 25th quickly just to mention Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is on the Xbox One.
Nice.
Which you've played that.
Yeah, I played it on PS4. And
liked it.
I liked it quite a lot, yeah. So it's basically a sort of rhythm game, I guess, and it's only about 2 hours long. You can get through it in an afternoon easily. But it's like an audio-visual experience type game. It is very, very enjoyable, especially if you love like synthy pop music, like stuff like Churches. You'll have a great time with Sayonara Wild Hearts.
I think it is.
I'm not sure.
Well, if it is,
seems like
give it a go. Because
yeah.
I've played it, I think 3 or 4 times. I went through it, just like not in like the same day, but just like, you know, when I felt like just coming across it on my PS4, I was like, I've got an hour or two to spare.
Yeah.
I'll run through my favourite stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those like musical games, a bit like Rez or Tetris Effect, really, where you sort of have to play it to believe it and get the effect from it. But yeah, I really liked it. I had a good time. It got very good reviews when it came out. It was an Apple Arcade exclusive for like a month or something.
Yeah. Right.
One of them. But yeah, it's really good. Very short, but very good.
There's another fucking Yakuza 0 release, which I don't understand how this is. It's on Xbox One.
This is the Xbox port, which is on Game Pass Day 1.
That's on the 26th, so that's the Wednesday.
There's your weekly Yakuza report.
Exactly, every fucking week, man.
They're slowly porting them all to Xbox now. They've ported them to PC. They're now porting them to Xbox.
I think we'll leave it there, actually. But there's some actual games coming out there, which is pretty cool. It does feel like it's been kind of a slow sort of lurch into the year somehow I
think we've just been very, like, everybody's kind of says January is quiet, and like we've been very spoiled the past couple of years. We've had like
it's new generation time.
This time last year we already had fucking Resident Evil 2. We had like, I think Devil May Cry was just on the way. Then Sekiro just a couple of weeks after.
Anthem, you know,
classic. The year before that we had Resident Evil 7 and Nier Automata, or whatever. Maybe the year before. But
they've all been early releases.
Exactly.
That was a good week. That Resident Evil 7 week. Because in the same day you had Resident Evil 7, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, your favourite, and Yakuza 0 all came out on the same day.
In January.
Of course, Yakuza 0 came out.
And now it's back again.
And it's back to see it.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, that what I'm looking forward to, and I don't get to play it, so I just wanted to give it a little... Because we talk about Souls a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like we're forever on a Souls come down on this channel.
Yeah, we are. We're changing the name of Special Moves to Dark Souls Morning, with a U, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Morning Souls.
Yeah. Morning Souls. So February the 28th, which is I think on Friday, till like the Tuesday, there's the Neo 2, like there's another free beta thing.
Yeah.
All your progress carries over, and it's the first proper 2 levels of the...
That's cool.
There you go, there's a PSA for you. Check out
Yeah, because I can't do it, so do it for me, alright?
I'm
off to watch fucking Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay reveal.
So that's episode 70 of the Special Moves podcast. We're going to record something else in a little while. Don't really know what it is yet, but Jake seems excited about it. See you soon.
Bye.